So, yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. So essentially, this is just gonna be a more advanced version. Alright, so, yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. So basically, it's self-explanatory for, now I got banned for a stupid reason on FCNN, so I'll just be using Rosebud, and I was planning on building this train earlier, but, I just got sidetracked at, like, the last second, so I just thought I'd try restreaming it, but hopefully that OBS didn't make it so that I can't play Gary's mod, because it did before, because I ran out of space, but hold on, let me shut my birds up. Shush! Go to sleep. Go sleep. Alright, so I'm sorry in advance for any, like, static or interference, because if I... Hold on, let me see if I can do it now. Yeah, there it is. If my actual, like, thing that controls how loud my voice is, or whatever, rubs against something, it creates that static sound, like, where is it? Right, like that. So I'm gonna try and not create that static sound, but, I'm sorry in advance if it does happen. So, this is my first Gmod stream, as well as streaming on computer, so if I mess anything up, don't yell at me. But so far it hasn't kicked me out, so that's a good sign. And when I see something is creating script errors, usually that's a good sign. It's not a good sign, but it is a good sign, don't worry.
You met up with him.
There we go. Alright.
All that.
Let me just go ahead and, oh boy, here we go. Alright, so, alright, so, it's branch wood, okay. So let me go dot vc create.
Do you think this dome is too big? You know, this is a C2 designed dome and everything.
I don't know.
Does it look good on it? I don't know.
Hmm. I don't know. I never use them. I really don't have any need to.
Alright. Now we won't have to listen to them. So let me go up and, like, you know, like, skip to... Alright, so all the sheds seem to be taken up, so I'll see.
Thanks.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm running out of ideas now.
I don't know. It's kind of, I mean, if it's small, then I guess it's just kind of crowded. Oh, wait, oh, you're talking to them. My bad. I thought you were asking to build in our shed.
No.
Okay. So,
So far it's been pretty quiet here. And I'm surprised that Italian Meowmax hasn't reacted to me, which is a surprise.
Well, I mean, if they do, then they know. I mean, you got to remember that even they know not to go around starting drama with people.
Even though...
alright. So now we don't have to listen to them. So basically I'm just going to be making your traditional SD70i. So, what you do is, if you're newer, and like I said in the description, sadly I won't be doing anything that involves, getting all this. It's just the Rosebud and FCNN add-ons, and there's tutorials on how to actually get Mags Pack and Mags Pack 2 and all the other fancy stuff. Now, I have custom E2s that I custom made. Well, I didn't personally custom make them, I just customized them to my own personal liking. So, I'll show you what I did change, as well as other stuff. Now, I'm going to be copying RLCPT2 chips from my other locomotive, so I won't have to redo the gear ratios and such. But if you do need the gear ratios to be fixed, then there's also tutorials for that. I believe there's tutorials for that. I have no idea, but so let me check my player model. Loaded. Alright, so far, alright, it loaded. Beautiful. So, what you want to do is hold Q. I assume everybody already knows this. Go to add-ons. Grove Street. This one. Then we want to go to SD70i. And here we go. Here's the SD70i. Now, I do have a E2 that was custom made for me by the Love Thy Life, and he's a very adorable cutie. Thanks to him, I can actually use the brake wheel, which is so happily visible here. Now, I have an SD70, and I wanted to make an I because they just look fancy. And basically what I did is I do nose door window because it just looks better. And headlight position. And this is all I asked Ranch, what do you want? Because this is co-owner of his company, or well, our company, as he always says. But I made sure that this is completely to his liking. So all of these, except the phases, are to what he wants. So he wanted the nose. Front AAR markers, nose mounted no, he wanted cabin mounted number boards. Short nose grab rails, high capacity sand fillers, which is just notched up. Cab air conditioning, that was my own personal preference. Phase 2E1. Now, there's also phases like this, but I like the 2E1. Because it has the little notch right there. Then notched rear sand filler, which basically just adds this. And then rear AAR markers, which create holes so you can add in lights there. Then 4,000 gallon fuel tank shortens the fuel tank, but I wanted a full fuel tank, so then coupler delete, but I am horrible at putting couplers on cranes, so I'm not going to be doing that. So hopefully nothing goes wrong while doing this, because I want to do this in one take only. So first things first. Now I have all of, so you need precision. Now go ahead and do all of this. I just have this set to 0.5, but I'm going to set it to 0.1 right now because I'm going to need it later. Then the two main things you're going to need is axis. So go ahead, pause, get all this done. And then move, which is another thing you need. And go ahead and copy all of this. Now, parenting, multi-parent, make sure all of these are the same. Nothing is different. And multi-unparent is just unparenting stuff. So, Advanced Duplicator 2 is something you also need. And I have all of these locomotives that I've made. Some are just random things that I've saved. Such as, let me see, bouncy ball. This is literally just a ball. Like, it's not a train. And I have this picture. I have an army steamer. Let me see. I have a EGP loco screen, which we will be having to use for this because it's just a pain having to rebuild 3 EGP screens every time I build a new locomotive. So it's just easier to save it. And sorry I keep going on, I'm just trying to tell you what you need. But, so I have all of these favorited, and expression 2, since I have a lot in here, it's gonna glitch out, so I have most of the stuff I need here favorited. Now, EGP screens. To get this very exact functional EGP screen, you need to type in a code in console, which is, let me type it in the chat. This button, but it's this button right here, but without typing in the chat. So if you do this, it pulls up this screen, and you have to type something down, and I forget what it is. It's probably in GitHub, and yeah, so that's how you get that, but I'm not going into detail much. I'm just going to show you how to actually wire everything. And I will be using ditch lights, because, like, the fancy kind, where, like, if you honk the horn while the bell's ringing, these two alternate flashing. I'll have a Stratus light, one of the old fancy ones here. I'll have strobe lights on it. I'm going to basically deck this out and make this as realistic as I can, with giving it my own personal touches, such as paint. This is going to have its own very special paint, since it's Farce's first ice locomotive. So it's going to have its own very special paint, which I will be creating a design for eventually, soon. Most likely in this stream. I have no idea. I want to keep this, like, short and sweet, so basically that's it. I'm just gonna show you how to wire everything, yada yada yada. I'm gonna be doing all the fancy stuff. So first, if you want to do markers, if you don't want to do markers, then if you're watching this and not watching the stream, then I guess you can, like, skip, like, I don't know, 30 seconds ahead. But what you want to do is you want to grab the light, and that's probably in visuals, lights, and light. Yeah, it's in visuals under lights, and lamp and light you're both gonna need, so I would go ahead and favorite those now. And then chips and gates, you need gates, which you should favorite. Expression 2 you should favorite. All these you can find anywhere in here. Like, you can look at these and then type it in the search bar. Like, you can pause now and type it in the search bar so you can see it. There's all of them. Sound emitters you don't need, but you can if you don't want to use the horn E2s as such that I have. So let me Let's put this to 3 because I feel like it. Actually, we'll do 2.5. 2.5. And you don't really need to change these. I'm just changing them because I want to. Let's do 259. And we're not going to be using ropes. So we can set this to 0. We will be using a weld, but then we will be parenting it. So the weld constraint will disappear, and I will show you how to check your constraints. So you would put one there, and you do this for every hole, like so, like this, on each one. It depends if you're doing front, back, all four, none. It's just a little fancy detail. So next we're gonna do the ditch lights. Ditch lights are the lights down here. There are 2 on each side, and if the bell is ringing and you honk the horn, they start alternating, and this usually is when the locomotive is either going through a yard or... Yes. Thank you. Yes, I know, I will.
It's 8:30.
I know,
You did it a little.
I know,
Alright, and you still have a fork in.
I know. I'm going to fix it. Jesus. 2 years. At most. I don't know. So far, nobody's complaining that I'm just texting, so... I'll tell them that I'm going to resolve the issue soon.
What?
I said I'm telling them that I will resolve the issue soon. Alright. So as I was saying, usually when the train is going through a yard, or a train crossing, which is very common in some towns more than others. So now you can do it on the rear. I will be doing it on the rear. You don't have to. Most of the time you don't have to, but I like doing it on the rear anyway. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do any on the rear because it's just going to add more lag to servers. And yes, these do generate lag, but the main one is going to be the light that I'm going to be putting here. That starts to drop your frames a bit, like by like 5 to 7. But if you have a good PC, it might not, but still, that depends. So, if you have Hanks, which is mostly GE stuff and stuff like that, now, he has ditch light mounts. So these will be very useful when mounting ditch lights, because they're pretty much pre-made, so you don't have to go through S-props and find the perfect sized mount. So, what you can do is you can go in here, style, ditch light tall, right, left, rounded. This one's gonna be the left. No, this one's gonna be the right. This one will be left. Now you can leave it normal like this, but ditch light left. So, I believe there's a cross under it, yes. So this is going to make my job easier. And then this is where you pull your precision tool out. Or you can move it with your fizz gun, it's just easier with precision. So we go to move, and we go under, we find the X in the middle. It's roughly edit it a little later. So we will add it right there, and we will rotate it as that. Now, if you want, you can do it with, make sure that it's like nice. So I'm gonna grab it with my fizz gun and I'm gonna straighten it out. Well, first, before anything, I'm going to disable collisions so it doesn't collide with the train, so I can straighten it out. And like that. So now it's facing forward, it's all straight. Alright. So then we come down here. This one is left. Yeah, left. So I don't know if I did these wrong. If I did, somebody please tell me, but I don't think I did. No, I probably did. Yeah, I did. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be a unique train anyway. I'm gonna switch this back to 0.5 so I can speed this up a bit. And it's roughly the same thing. So go here, here's gun, straighten it out. And straighten it, there we go. Pull it forward a bit more. Now, right click, push, and R. So if I go over here and I and then go to the back, right click. Alright, yeah. So we look at this, see if it's like nice. Just a little more. That's good. Now we look at the front. This could be scooched over a little bit. And now you have your ditch lights. Well, the front ones. If you wanted to do the back, which I'm not doing, you would take these and do the exact same thing on the back. It's just going to take longer, so I'm not going to do it, and it's completely unnecessary. So, now, what you do is go to wire, and go to your lights, and you place the light right on like this. You can, fiddle with it, mess around with it. Now, they don't have to be up, they can also be down, like, right about here. Most locos have it on the bottom anyway. You can put them right there on locos, like that. And you don't even have to put the mounts on. So, you can do that. Or, you don't even have to put ditch lights some locos don't even have ditch lights. Like, older locos, like, E8s, E7s, F7s, F8s, Shark Noses, other countries' trains that I'm not mentioning. I'm only used to American trains. They don't use ditch lights. So, later models that are still in service as, like, tourist rides, or just, like, rides in general, like historical rides, they have ditch lights, because ditch lights are now a requirement on all locomotives to be certified. Certified, sorry. So, but this model calls for it. So, let me exit Gmod. So I have, it's the diesel shop.us data percentage mark 20 EMD percentage mark 20 SD70i.html. That's the website. That's the exact URL. And it's the diesel shop has almost every single diesel, American diesel, I should say, listed. Some aren't, but it has a lot, and it's very useful information. Like, it tells me the engine, all the dimensions, alternator, dynamic braking, traction effort, weights, multiple unit compatibility, wheel slip control, RPMs, engine builder, bore and stroke, horsepower, speed, configuration, everything. So, let's see what they're doing over here. I can't tell if this is PHX or 2 foot. That's PHX, okay. Not bad, not bad. Alright, so then on here, I know which bogies SD70s use, which are HTCRs, which are in Magnum's pack, if I can ever find it. Magnum's train model pack here. And we scroll down to, so we have a few options. We have HTCR 45-inch, then we have the HTCR 44-inch, then we have the HTCR late and HTCR early. We also have HTBs, but our so we're going to be using 45. And you can tell you use the right bogies when you, like, if you see this, see how it's slightly to the back of the train? Most bogies are in the center. So this one is like a little special unicorn because, oh, I probably moved that, so I probably messed it up. No, I didn't mess it up that bad. But, and if you look at this, this matches the same shape, so you know that it's the correct bogie, see? That's another way to bogey, and if it just fits in general. So, what I like to do is I like to edit body groups like shock absorbers. I do retrofit, and this is the rear truck, so no parking brake. And this is front truck, so we'll do the same thing. Retrofit, and since it's the front truck, we have a parking brake. So, pull the precision tool out again, and you pull out axis, and make sure all of these are what they are, except push and pull them out. You can always change that, it's different. But that's just if you want to push something or pull it. Now, all of these have to be ticked. Here's all of these as well. So what you want to do, come over here to the X. Good as you can. Then go up to the X on the locomotive. Some locomotive models don't have X's, so it makes it harder, but some do. Those are the easy ones. And locomotives like this, you know which side goes which way because it's usually rounded. The rounded side always goes towards the fuel tank, so it doesn't end up shearing the fuel tank, which is just another easy way. So let's do the same thing over here. Now, if I was recording this, I'd go ahead and edit it and skip this part, like the second one. But I'm streaming, and I'm gonna editing, recording. I'm just gonna stream because that's the only way I really know. So after that, we need to find the correct stand. I already did research ahead, so we need let me see. It's in Groves, I believe. Here we go. Desktop SD70M ICE or SD70M analog. Now, this is the SD70M, and then SD70M notch nose, Mac. What is the Mac? Hold on, let me look at this. Yeah, it's not very different, but it's not the same. It's a little longer. So what you want to do is get the this. Then you have a few options. You have ICE Pillar E-brake, ICE console e-brake, that's 90, you have fridge basic, and you have this one as well, but this is the analog. So I like using the pillar e-brake, and this one sadly doesn't have the X, but this does, So what you do is you take out your precision tool, make sure you put it back to move, and then you go up here, and then this is where the e-brake goes. Then you would go to the X, same thing like the bogies, except like this. And it should fit pretty nicely. Like, there's always a crack behind them, it's just how they're built, but it should fit almost perfectly. Like, see this? Now, give me a sec, let me check the chat real quick, because I have no idea if people are texting into the chat room. So just let me look at that real quick. But it should fit almost perfectly. Like, see this? Now, give me a sec. Let me check the chat real quick, because I have no idea if people are texting into the chat room. So just let me look at that real quick. Yeah, I forgot the chat is disabled. All right. Well, sorry about that. If anybody wanted to see, but so what I do is I go there, and if anybody needs, like, just shoot me a text over Discord or something. And then you want to put it like right there. Now I'm gonna have to change this, like, see this, like, push down and pushed over. But that's pretty good right there alone. Like, that's pretty decent. Actually, that's actually perfect. It's one of the few times I ever get it perfect. Second try. I usually have to, like, edit it a lot. So we have a pretty standard SD70. We have the reverser, which is very conveniently up here. I forget which buttons are which, but you'll see when we wire everything together. And we have the throttle and train brake. Then we have the air brake, and then we have the locomotive brake. And over here is the emergency brake, which your brakeman would sit here, and then behind the brakeman would be the conductor, and then over here would be the engineer. But sadly, like stuff like the GE desktop, which also comes with an E2, it comes with this, so the actual brake lever moves. But sadly, it doesn't on this because I guess you need a completely separate E2 for this. So we're just not gonna worry about this stand at all. We can actually go ahead and parent this already. But our main goal is right here. So 2 EGP screens will go here. You can either put one here and one here, but one definitely goes over here for your brakeman. Alright, so then we'll do the cosmetics in a second. Actually, you know what? We might do it next. I have no idea. But alright, so I'm not missing anything, I don't believe. Now we want to go back into expression 2. And I have this. Hold on. Let me get rid of this one. So I believe it's, yes, this one. This is the original Stratus Splite with an actual functioning light. I'll show you in a second. But this one is a really special one because it's the original, and the newer one is not included in Mag's Pack anywhere. So this is kind of like an exclusive thing that only a few people have. But somebody allowed me to save it. So thank you to them. It's King Claus. I don't know their Steam ID, but they're a very nice person. So here, we need lamp. Then we need it to be the same type of orange as this. So it's like a little bit yellowish orange. And it's got to be the same lens as this. So that's going to be the color it is. Actually, it's a little bit too yellow. Let me bring it back down to orange. There we go, that's better. So what we want to do is we want to disable collisions, and then we gotta bring it up here like this, and we need to find out where it's facing, which is forward. And we take this, and by the way, if you want to snap it into a location, it's Shift E. E is just like move it around. Like this is E. This is E. But Shift E allows you to like precisely snap it. So that's what I do to make sure everything is like pristine. Like see how it's like straight now? So we want to do that, and then go to wire, and your tool gun, so wire. So what we want to do is on, which we link it to a button, which we sadly don't have yet. Then wire now, and we do create entity. So now this becomes part of this. Now on, we will need to be put with this. So on goes on like that. So that's your first set of wiring done. Now this is a cosmetic. You don't need this at all. This is just a little fancy detail that very few people have, but it's nice to see some occasionally. But you don't need this at all. It's just a nice little detail. Now you can leave the lamp like this if you so choose, but most of the time people will go into here and we do we go to color or material, whatever you choose, and we take this, drag it down to this, make sure this is 0, doesn't matter what any of these are, the fourth one has to be 0, and then you click it, and now it's disappeared. Now, you can still see it, as you can see over here, you can see right there, it says torch, and if I look away, it says a train, but if I look at it, it says torch, so it still says it's here, and I can still do stuff with it. Now, let me spawn in a button, so I can actually show you. It's taking longer than I wanted, but then we go up here, and then we turn on the lamp, with the wire on, to out. And by the way, to wire something, you just click it like this. Oh, like you click something, and that. Like see, like distance. Like maybe distance. So you left click and put it to wherever you want to put it to. Now if I hit this button, it will show a light like this. And I don't believe the... So I think I gotta do on, to the button, turn it back on. Huh, it's not showing. Let me see if I have to do this. Now let's put it back. Ooh, that's not wired. I need color. This is weird. Let me shut it off. There we go. Found it. There we go. So I don't believe it's working because I don't have like a wall. So let me see if I can spawn something. And it will shine on this. Let me disable collisions. Now will it shine on this? Right, no, it's not shining. Why won't it shine? Alright, let me see here. Let me stop this. Boy. So, alright, so it's something weird. I know it worked before, so let me retry this. Full gun, lamp. I know it's taking a while, but it's a very specific part. Let me see. There we go. Now we go up over here, and we gotta make this. Collisions. Now we have to make sure that it's facing the same direction. Which I think I need to put it like right there on top of it. wire. Wire lamp, and then we wire on to the button down here, and it should work. Let's see, should, because I don't know. There we go, now it's working. There we go. So, yeah, just do what I did. I kind of, like, winged it, so. But, yes, that is how you get the fancy shadow display. And that's how you get, like, the fancy, light with it, too. Now, this beam of light already comes there, but the lamp is actually what's creating the light there. And it's mostly on, switchers, but, don't worry about that. I put it on camera. Now, let's see. Let me just... Now, let me pull out something real quick, which is Advanced Duplicator. Then we go to 9043. This is my SD 9043 Mac. Now this has everything I need on it already. So what I'm essentially doing is copying and pasting from another locomotive onto another one to make my job much simpler. But there still is quite a bit of work involved. So, after this loads, takes a second, spawn it in. Now, a few things I need from
Gotta move that gear up!
the strobe lights, the, just everything on this I probably need. But the number one thing I need is this horn. Now, headphone warning. If you're using headphones, turn it down. You have been warned, but here it is. So I don't know if you were having your mic too loud or whatever, but I gave you a warning, so don't get pissed at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take expression 2, and I'm going to find this dash cam E2, and we're going to wait till it loads like that. Then we're going to take it, spawn it right there, lift it up so I can actually notice that it exists. Then we take this bumper E2, and if anybody needs these E2s, they can email me or whatever. I can give them to you. So, yeah, it's no problem. But, then we gotta get the front one. But yes, if anybody needs these E2s, they can email me and I can join your game and we can do like a little swap. Almost all of these are public. There's one E2 that I have that's not public, but I don't use it because it's a little broken for me. But we don't need to worry about that. So now these strobes are another thing that nothing here I have like customized myself. So nothing here should be customized. But these strobe lights, these strobe light E2s, I can show you what they do. These I have custom edited. Now, what I do is, let me spawn it in. Right there. Let me spawn it in. Now, Ranch said that he wanted orange lenses, so the lights would be orange. So let's see, let's go down to color, and he wanted orange, and let's see, we'll do 255, 190, 10. So, alright, so let's go to wire, expression 2. $255, 191, 0. Now let's copy that so I don't have to remember that. Copied. And we do upload, and there's the colored lens. Actually, I could actually color it more. We'll do 200. Yeah, that's a little better. It's like a urine yellow, but don't worry about that. It's gonna look good. Trust me. Actually, what happens if I do a full 255, 255? That's yellowish. Alright, so 180. So the lower the number, the more orange it is. Okay. So we'll do 175. And it's just a little fiddly. Like, you gotta, like, mess around with it. There we go. That looks similar. Now we gotta go here. And Control C. Now, timer is 7. Half delay is 1. So if you want alternating lights, then you would use 0 and 1. I'll show you. And so this is going to be 7. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Same E2. But we're going to go into it. And we're going to change this to 1. So I'll let you see that. You can pause it, go back if you need to. But at this rate, I won't be stopping, sadly. So then next, we'll go to the back. Now before I spawned it in, this will be 0. And this, the 7, will be a 5. So then we exit that, and then we spawn it in, I'd say, right here. Now, we do the same thing. We're not going to change it, except for one thing. This now becomes a 1. So spawn that right there. Yeah. So now, these two are alternating on the same timestamp. And these two are alternating on their own timestamp. So these blink every 7 seconds, and there's a half delay. So when this one blinks, then it's gonna wait a whole half. It's gonna wait half of 7 seconds. Then this one blinks, and the same thing, and it repeats. Now it's gonna be the same exact thing over here, except for 5 seconds. What? Okay, Jesus. So then we go to the horn. Now, I will do the horn, so I'll just spawn the horn down there. Then there's a horn E2 that I use to just make the horn louder, so it doesn't sound as quiet. And I'll stick it in the front and back, like this. And then we take the number plate E2s, and we put them wherever we so choose. Like, I put it on what I like to call the cheek of the locomotive. So, then I put this under the brake wheel, right about there. And the same on the other side, right about there. Now, on the back, we're going to use number boards like this. All these are number boards, so they're just edited. So these we will stick right here. And so what are we going to do is we're going to go in here, and we're going to find scale. Where is it scaled? So here's the scale at line 76. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to change all of these to 1. And it should change it to its original size that it was at first. So it's just easier, and you can see it better. We lower this. There we go. See, now that looks nice. Now we come up here into these. So what are we gonna do is we're gonna push it down. Now it's too big to fit in this hole. So what we do is we go in here. And we're not going to change this one, but we're going to change these two. So this first one will be 0.56, and then the next one will be 0.65, I believe. And that should fit near perfect in this little hole. Yeah, you can fiddle with the numbers if you'd like. It's all dependent on what what body groups you use, but I found that that works the best. As you can see, it fits near perfect. Now, if I use the same number boards like here, it would clip outside. So these are just specially edited, like I showed you. If I specially edited something, I will show you guys. Now, windshield wipers. Again, a cosmetic. They are not needed, but highly suggested if you want your locomotive to look realistic. These I have edited myself. Titus's. They're not mine. I do not claim ownership of these E2s, but I changed the coverage to 20, speed is 28, spawning is 38, and I didn't change anything else except the bar length is 6, wiper length is 7, and split distance is 12. That is it. And basically the rest is here. So I'll come up here, and these models use this pattern of windshield wipers. Now let me make this actually. So bar length will be 7, and wiper length will be 10, like that, so it can cover all of that. Now spawning will be -20, speed will be 28, and coverage will be 16. These are, you have to do these, and you have to do them to match this, so they're like in unison. So spawning needs to be -28, and then this one needs to be +28, then this one needs to be -28, then this one needs to be +28. That's for the spawning. Basically, that's for this one right here. Speed can be whatever, but whatever spawning this is, it has to be the opposite of the one next to it. It sounds a lot more confusing, but you'll see. So, this one, see how it has -20, 28, and then -38? That's what I mean. So we're going to go ahead, do the same exact thing over on this side. Make sure they're like even. You don't want to have like messed up windshield wipers. Your brand new locomotive, and then you get like bullied for it. That's when it's happened to me. And yep. Alright, so now we go here and we copy this one. And we're gonna edit it the same way I edited it right here. So wiper length is going to be 10, and bar length will be 7, not 8. And this says -16 coverage, 28, and 20. And what's convenient is, I will show you in a second. Spawn it. So you take this one, so if it's on the left, then you come over onto the opposite side and you put these on the back right here like that. It's very like that. And then you do the same thing, copy the E2 by right clicking it, and you bring it over here and place it. And then I will be adding buttons after I finish all the cosmetics and placing items. Now, this is the Platinum Gamma 2 E2. Now, I already finished, I already had somebody help me with the gear ratios, which are difficult if you have no idea what you're doing, but I'm sure someone can help you, or you can just copy my E2. Now, there's something harder that you need to do that's quite specific with PT Gamma 2, which is creating your own configuration file. Which means the configuration file just means it's accurate to what your loco is instead of just a randomly picked locomotive. Now, you're automatically given an SD40, but Oh, why, thank you, Omega. So, okay. So, I believe Titus's bell. Yep. But if anybody needs any of these E2s, I will be happy to give you them. All of these are public, non-private, so don't worry. I'm not breaking any rules. At least I don't think so. So, next, we're going to take the horn. I already looked at a picture. Now, it's situated in the center here. Now, locomotives, when they're situated in the center, and you want it to be, like, cool, realistic, and you want the horn to be loud, if it's in the center, you're not going to hear it from here. That's why I placed these E2s here, so you can actually hear the horn from inside the cab. Now, the SD70Is are special editions than the regular SD70s because they have soundproof cabs, so you really shouldn't be able to hear the horn, but who cares about being realistic anymore? So, you just pop the horn in here, and if anybody would like to know what horn it is, it's the same thing over there. It also has a quail as well. And it's K5LA horn. If we come down here, here's the horn sound right here, so you can pause it if you need to. And here is the off horn sound, which you would need to end it. And here are the quail noises as well. So down here, the bell, which has a function. Here are all of the here is the start sounds and ending sounds. And it does have a functional ringer. I will show you right now. Button, wire, toggle input, out. It has a functional thing. It eventually gets off track, see? But it fixes itself eventually as well, so that's not a problem at all. And what you do is, if you go and try and spawn it on the loco, it's going to come down like this. So what you do is you take it, place it on the floor, pools, precision, and move. Just like with the control stand. We move it, and we place it. Usually on EMD models, it's right next to the fuel tank by the Bogie, right here. It's almost on all EMD models, like right here. I'd show you what this actually looks like, but it's not loading, sadly. But that's not a problem. Now here is classification. This is a classification light E2, which is what you're going to need for your marker lights. These lights right here, like here, here. These lights, this is what you need to set your marker lights. Now, I'm going to go ahead, go in here, and make sure you haven't parented anything yet. I will show you the proper way to parent, because if you parented this to the body already, this wouldn't spawn on here, it would spawn on the wall, and then you'd be confused, like, I spawned it, but where did it go? If you did this, it probably spawned on the wall. Just unparented it, oh my god, just unparent it, and it will be fine. Don't worry, you didn't break anything. If you did break anything, just go back, or anything. And if you need me to personally help you, like one-on-one, you can email me, text me, or anything, and I can like give you like a one-on-one help session as well. So that's also a viable option. I'm not always going to be available because, you know, school and stuff, but don't worry, I'm available most of the time. So then we will take the dash cam E2, which is, I don't know why it disappeared. Let me fix it. There we go. So we take the dash cam E2 and we place it wherever we think sees fit. Now, I believe dash cam look good right here. It's not really in the way. It's not really like distracting. And if you're curious, yes, this is the Stratusplay E2 on the roof. Don't worry, you don't even notice it, so it's okay. Now, here I did the same thing, except I incorporated a camera into the dash cam, which displayed on this TV, but sadly it didn't work. So, I'm going to redo something fancy, which is I go here, and I go, where is it? Camera and tools. So let me search up camera, and we are going to do the H key. Now we press Q to exit, and now we are going to place a key. Now this camera will be facing wherever you are looking. Let me do this. Set it so it disabled collisions, and we will put it right here. So now if I press the selected key, I can view what's ever on the camera. So obviously it's in the way of that, so if I do this. Alright, so let's say I want the dash cam to actually like show the locomotive. So it's like an in-camera, like, it's a locomotive camera. So we're going to stick this in the corner like this. And I don't want to go into the roof. So we're going to do this. And we could hollow it as well with rattle can, but that's a bunch of stuff we don't really need right now. So we go in here, and we take the camera that we ever so graciously placed, and we place it right in front of this camera, right here that we spawned with that E2. Now, let me freeze it. Now, if I back up like this, you can see the whole cab. So let me angle this down slightly, which is E, and then just slightly tilt it. Now, or I'm gonna hold control, and move, freeze it, look, that looks pretty good. Now, sadly I can't get the, that, but look, see, pretty good, pretty good so far. So, this is going well enough, but, next we're going to work on the inside of the cab, over behind me over here, but, it is gonna work, trust me. But, yeah, so this camera I have set up here that I'm using to view myself right now is an option. You don't need it. I would have used it as a dash camera up there, but I didn't feel like it, so yeah. But, yeah, so let me go ahead and do that right now. So, all we really need now is the actual function E2. So we get a wire, expression 2, and I have all of my E2s saved in here, which are behind this and here. So we're going to need the locos, V16, for the display screens that we're going to need, and since there's like no real place to hide them in here, I go behind the stairs, which is a sneaky little spot I found. So you place it there. Now you don't have to hide them, but you can. But then we're going to need Monk's Advanced Exhaust. If you want exhaust, this is a aesthetic or cosmetic. You don't need this, but it's highly recommended in realism. And I will be showing you how to add exhaust later. No, I'll do that right now. So if you have Monk's Advanced Exhaust and you want exhaust, just skip ahead if you don't want to do this 30 seconds. You take out your particle system, smoke exhaust, 1, I usually take 3, and you can choose whatever you want here. I usually just choose these for like flat exhaust pipes like this, and you just place them here, and then you wire them to Monk's Advanced Exhaust. I'll do it all when I'm wiring everything. You'll see. And you have to parent these to the body, but I suggest making them invisible, because once it's parented, you can't change the color. So change the color before you parent it, or you have to unparent it. So just a little warning. You'll see in a bit. So random number generator. I already picked 2 numbers. You just edit it by choosing two numbers. Anything from 0 to 9,999. So I picked 28 and 132. And you just wire this to all of your number boards, and it picks a random number between the two numbers you set, which are 28 and 132, and it chooses a random number in between those two numbers, and that will be your running number for your locomotive. Now you can go into these number boards, and you can change the number with the body groups, like this, and all other sorts of stuff. But I find the random number generator is a lot more fun to use. So you don't need that, but you can. Now, FPD, I don't have a good history with FPD, but it's just fender, bender, defender, and basically if you rail, then you use this to re-rail almost instantly, but it hasn't been working for me recently, so I'm just not going to wire that, but I will show you how to wire it. Now, magic crowbar coupler, you don't need it, but it's very, very useful. So, I'm going to place that in my grid of speed, as some might say. So then we come back in here, ditch lights, which is what we're going to need for the lights on the locomotive. So we're going to place that right. Then we need the EMD composite, which we don't need because we're using SD70 SD70 stands instead of EMD composite stands. Now this is what I mean by a configuration E2, and this is for the 9043 Mac. It's got all the horsepower, weight, everything, and it's got the correct engine in it as well. Now, if I look on the thing, yeah, 710 G3B 16 cylinder. So the engine is not going to be changed from here, but I'll show you how to change the engine. So you go to your E2 list over here, and you go to Max Pack 2. Actually, no, you go to PT Gamma, then you go to Engines, and then you have a full list of engines. And you pick one, then you spawn it in, copy the name. So you would copy this. Actually, no. You would go down here and copy all of this right here. You would copy this, then come into then you would close out of this, and you would go to locos. Then you would go to generic, and you should only, if you've never done this before, you should only have an SD40 here, which is EMD SD40. This is your only one that you should have. Now, basically, what you want to do is you want to spawn that SD40 in. Now, you want to change this to whatever locomotive you have. Then you go here to locomotive type and you change it. Then you change all the statistics and everything. And then you take that engine that you copied before and paste it into hashtag include, the teal hashtag include at line 27. That will be your engine. And since I already have it, since this locomotive already has it, and this is the only engine, and it's a fuel saver, that's what we're going to be using. And it says right here, what engine should you pick for your locomotive? Google it. Diesel Shop always helps. So we're going to go ahead and actually configure the E2 right now. So 4,300. Alright, we're going to look at Diesel Shop. It's got 4,000 horsepower. So we're going to take the 300 and delete it and put 4,000. Now it weighs 398,000 pounds. So we take the three numbers here, 398,000 pounds. Axles 6, traction motor 6. It is a DC locomotive. Don't mess with the max gen, max flow. Don't mess with those. Base speed we'll be running at is 50, and top speed will be 70. We're not going to actually be running at that speed. Like the most we'll get to is about 20 or 20 to 40. So I just put 50 just because, just in case. So unit type, it's for other stuff. You don't need to worry about any of this now, since we're building a locomotive, no slug. We're not building a snail, nor a cab car. So,
It's 9:30.
I know.
You said
Thank you. I know I need to be up early. So then, after the configuration E2, now I like to put it on the locomotive, so I actually know what locomotive it is. So SD9043 Mac, we're going to change this to 70I. Then we go down here and we change it to 70I, and we do save and exit. Or we should do save as. There we are. So, we go in here, now we place this down. Like that. Actually, not. Let me put it a little closer because I see a little crack. There we go. That looks better. Now, we go back into this list, and we are still in PT Gamma, but we're not looking local. We need to go to Control Stands VG. And, wait, no. Hold on. Hollow, maybe? Alright, so go to Control Stands BG, and we are going to be using the SD60M desktop, because that is the only available one. So, we will place this right here. Actually, wait, yeah, that. Let me fix that. There we go, that looks better. So, back here is the RLC chip. I'll teach you how to wire everything in a second. So, now we need just the small little cosmetics. Like, the custom E2 that I made that is not public, but it is mine, so if anybody would like it, please come and consult me. Thank you. So, it's on my other SD70, but this is an SD70i, so here's my SD70 right here. Let me spawn it in real quick. Let it load. Spawn. There we go.
Gotta move that gear up!
This just has a more clear tab, like an additional SD. Like a SD45, basically. And on the back, it's this. This is the special thing. It is a custom E2. So this is exclusive. And let me find the E2 that it uses. Let me see, where is it? It's around here somewhere. I know it was on the F. Oh. Right there. Alright, as you can see, my lovely boyfriend has ever so graciously made it for me. And so we go ahead and place it. Should automatically place it now. We can't turn it now because, well, we need a button. We go to buttons, now we place a button right on. And I'm just gonna wire this right now. So we wire button to, and now if we press it, we rotate. Oh god, bless me. Then we go to, let's to handbrake override. And we link it to the button. Now, it should override the handbrake. So this is now a fully fledged handbrake now. And eventually we just need to hide the E2. But we actually, you do not parent this. I'll tell you what you can't parent. There's a very specific list, I should say. Now we need a advanced entity marker, which we can put on the back right here. Actually, no, it's a little too big. We'll go over to the other side. We'll go to the other stairs. Place this down. We'll place our pod controller. And we will place down our gate. I have a Intel gate. And this gate isn't hard to actually find. I don't know what this is actually. It's a AB. It's an ad. So we go to. Actually, I don't know how I got it. Addition. Yes. And you can scroll down here and you can pick all sorts of ones. Like they have this one. They have this one. Ooh, it's getting real laggy. Okay. Whoa. Yeah, somebody's lagging this one.
Hey.
What?
Grandma's been asking you to jump.
I know. I know. I know.
So you got to do that.
I know.
Watch your mouth. Watch your attitude.
I'm answering you. Okay, alright. Are you kidding me? Alright. Alright, so let's continue with this. So I have a gate here as well. And there's others. I like using the Intel one. And there's... I don't need to! It's an option! Alright, so we get the gate done. So let me get some buttons in here, make it look nice. So we'll do the EGP. Then strobes. And then beacon we will place under strobes. Alright, now do this, which will wipers, and we will place this is Beco, so let's fix that. Alright, so now we need let me see here. Coupler. No, we don't need this anymore. So coupler. Now it will be a slider switch, which we will place right there. What else do we need? Let me think. That. And I will be adding a radio shortly. Alright. Now we get the fun stuff. Isolation, which we will be putting here. No, it would be on a control panel in the back, but there is no control panel. So okay, we'll do it again. Isolation. Engine run. Actually, no. Because switches haven't been, like, up on top of things since, like, since old times. Let's just put it down here. Class 47s, they had it on the top. I do have a Class 47, but it's not that good. So, engine room, which we will put right here. And brake cut in. Isolate brakes. Alright, here. Let me add that in here. Advanced button. Isolate brakes. Actually, no, that's how you spell it. It is not how you spell it. I am not good at spelling. Are you kidding me? I hit the button limit. Oh, this sucks. Alright, I don't need a button for the strobes because I will link it so it turns on when the bell is activated. see, now can I place it? Isolate brakes, and I need Gen or a Tor. And it will say that I hit the limit. Actually, no, I don't need this because I can link it to NIST. So I need a primer button as well. Primer and engine start. So this is going to be harder now. Because, alright, what do I not need? I don't need this couplet because I'll just have it always active. Radio on and off, brake cut in, engine run. I just won't have the radio. Boom, problem solved. Alright. Primer. And primers are usually in the back over here. In a cabinet like this, but we'll ignition. We'll go here. And this will be the master shutdown. Alright, so this is EGP screen. I can have it linked to when the locomotive comes out, so I don't need this. There we go. And let's actually color this red. So then beacon we will make orange. And 70. Okay. See if they're all correct, alright. This is good. Brake will work. And now we can do the fun part of wiring. So let's wire all the cosmetics first. So wire the button. When we turn that on, that will activate. Then we will shut this off. Now we will take this. And I'm holding shift. Select multiple. Let me find it real quick. I think I know where it is. It's not there. It's on the wire link, which is right here. We will link this one. So now that is linked. master goes to the RLC, then pod 50 goes to the pod controller, and then on the actual pod controller, crosshairs. Let's see here. Number 3 goes to this. Horn 1 goes to the mouse 2, which is the horn button. Just right click. Force will go to the RLC, which will go Thunderbend. So enable enable goes over here. These are the same 8 as that. I just deleted the model off of these, which is not hard to do. So now quail. Let me bring it back over here. To all the others. Now, input will go to this, and belt will go to then headlights flash, and then belt will go to the light, whatever light button, then this will be space, and that's it. And we'll go to here. I'm using HEP, but I like doing it anyway. So active goes to active on the pod. And let's see monks exhaust goes to let me see. Magic crowbar. Goes to then well, not R2, mouse 2, front class, goes to, then number 2 goes to to right here. Now I would do cycle pages, but sadly I don't have enough buttons to do that, so I will not be doing that. Power goes to, this will just make it easier, engine 1. So we will do the screens next after I finish wiring. So here we do isolate, which go to brakes. Light front go to then light rear go to, well, light again. And so you want to do rear plug-in. Ooh, we didn't do that. So we gotta do that. So this is another EQ that we might need. The MU socket. It's the same thing as a plug. So we go to tools, precision, move. Now we take this. Usually goes on the right side, on the bottom, like right here. And this. Except on the right side up here. Right. And we want to go to wire again. Then in goes to the RLC. Front plug out, then rear plug in will go to this one. Out, and rear, and front. Pod. And the rest is just link it to the buttons, basically. Control cable goes to the controller, which is your stand EQ right there. And like I said, the rest after this is just buttons. Generator field is right here. Can you link this all the way to that one? I have no idea. I will be done in a little bit. What was that? Which is the ignition. And which is right here.
Gotta move that gear up!
Now we go over here and go to our configuration E2. Copy the name like so. Oh my god. Look at this. Control C. Then we go over here to the RLCPT2. go down to include, or hashtag include, which is a little ways down. Actually, not. I think I passed it. Yeah, here it is. It's at line 71. And you want to highlight this and replace that with whatever locomotive it is. Upload. And wait. And it should say that it changed. You'll see that it says. There it is. SD70i.
Darn.
Come on.
Gotta move that gear up!
Load. Probably not. So, now we're going into the most difficult stage, which is parenting. Ooh, I didn't even do the front headlight. Let me do that right now. Multi-unparent, so I can actually pull this off. Version 2. Let me copy this and slap it on the front real quick. Yeah. Okay. And let me copy this light. So we take the light and we place it right where we want it. Fire, and on goes to light, and we spawn in a lamp. So let me fix the color, white. Then we go to the light, and do lamp energy. The lamp should automatically teleport back. Then RGB and you just hold shift on all of them and select classification lights, or these lights right here. And you do entity goes to the pod. And all of these here go to the pod. And they're already selected. So we have to click and it will already go to it. Like, it's already in the pod. And there's will be linked to when you press space, these will turn on. So the beacon is already linked. Everything in here is linked. So, alright, I don't believe I'm missing anything. These are already linked to on. So, I need to put the EGP screens in. That's what I need. Actually, wait, no. These. So, our vector. Now, we go over here. And we go to the ditch lights V5 E2. Which is right here. Now we do RGB1. And this, we do except 2. If you were doing the rear, it would be the same thing except for rear. Now let's check. Nothing else is needed. Oh yeah, the EGP screens. We will do that right now. Now I have the pre-made. If you need them, I can give them to you. So here we go. Now I just need to wait for them to load. Go. Since this is an EMD, we need EMD button configurations, which is you hold C, right click, and this is how you change body groups. This one will be GE because I like the handle, but it's not really a GE locomotive. You didn't see that. Now we disable collisions on all of them. position tool, move, and then hold E on the back, and click to snap it. This one will be going here, and we will. Let's just. There we go. Now we go back over. Go over here. Alright, that looks good. Now we need to do this one. And same thing, except over here. Right. Just, you know, like adjust it. Alright, there we go. There are the two screens, well, all three, I should say. Now we go to wire again. Then we head over to the Locos EP. Which we would go to either one of these two, doesn't matter. We'll do and go back. Which will be any one of these two again, and the other one. And if you would like a conductor to have one as well, then it would be this one. Now you have to have it set. Yeah, you have to have the settings set so it is conductor. I'll show you. So. See, 1, if Locos will synchronize a third screen with EGP1 for the conductor to view. If you didn't want this, you would set this back to 0, but I want my conductor to have a screen, so it will be 1. And you can change all these to whatever you'd like. Alright, once you have all that done, now we go to Tools. And, let's see, color. Color this. The E2s will disappear, which is what we want. And what else do we need to make invisible? Let's see what's in the cab that we need to make invisible. We need to make show that. And this. Alright, this camera is throwing me off, so we won't do a camera then. 1, So we will actually use this as a dash cam, which is what it's meant to be. Let me raise up. I did the wrong thing. Ooh, forgive me. I missed it. Hold on, let me disable collisions. There we go. Sorry. Don't do what I just did. Alright. Now we go to multi-parent. This. Yeah, the screens are parented. Desk. Not parent this. Do not parent this. This we can color actually. So it disappears. And we go to multi-parent. And now the button is invisible. I heard something fall. It seemed like nothing really fell. So far so good. Body. Do not parent this at all. Then where is that? Parent it to the body as well. Do not parent the trucks. These need to be parented as well. Now I know the Stratus needs to be parented. I don't know the length. I believe that it needs to be parented to the gate E2. Now we have to come over here and we have to and all of our E2s as well. Now we have to come up to the exhaust. This is if you used exhaust. Now we need the color. And we need to go to multi-parent. Color these. And we like that. Now that should be everything. Now, I know. Now we need seats so we can actually pilot the locomotive. Now, ooh, I forgot this. I wanted to add one small little detail, which is here. 255, 0. And the scale shall be 1, 1. Alright, the scale needs to be 0.7 and 0.9. Go. Now we need to do wire. And do this for 3. Now we need to go over to Dissy 2. And numbers, and we got 63. We just go around and see if we missed any. And we are all good. Now we just need to reparent this here. I believe I got everything. Oh, seats. Sorry. Mac train. We'll do the armrests down, down, and up. And this will be bolted, 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 sable collisions, sable collisions, disable collisions. Now, these I know, donkeys. I know, buddy. I'm retired. So we're coming up here. Place our seat down. Nice and straight. And sit down. Make sure it's nice. We can see out of it. Like, I like this view right here. This is a nice view. My arm isn't sticking out. Looks like a good position for my seat. Now we go over here and make sure that our conductor and brakeman have a good view as well, because they will also help us. Let's see. This is a very good view. Oh, forgot to get rid of this. So we need to do this. And we will put it right behind here. Like so. So they won't have as good as a view, but they will still have a view. So now we can fire the pod controller. Same thing we used to spawn the pod controller. And right click on the seat that you will be piloting and we will land. See, now we can pilot the train. As you can see the yellow line goes to the seat. Now we need to parent the seats to the body, because then it will brake, but to the gate. That is what you need. So, if I'm not mistaken, that is everything done. So now if we sit down, we should be able to use all the buttons. Let's turn that on. There's our beacon. Beacon works pretty good. I won't be testing if it works. Mist, windshield wipers work. Screens work. I'm not gonna test that. What was the strobes again? Beacon, isolate engine. Oh, bell. Right, bell works. Ooh, yes, it worked. Alright, so far so good. I don't see the strobes working. I will fix that problem when I come to it. Ooh, that's what I missed. It fell. Alright, let's fix that. So let me go under it. Precision. Move. Right, this is the last thing we need. Place it down. And we can look at it and use our scroll bar. It should turn those on. If we look in the back. Voila. Ooh, forgot to parent this. And this. Do not parent it. Go to precision. Weld. Wait, no, hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Never mind. Don't do that. Just go to regular weld. Like this. So, click. And there. Magic. So now you should be able to save it. And don't be a dum-dum like I was, and make it so you cannot use your throws, but yeah, there you go. So that concludes it, and to save it, it's simple. Just go to Advanced Duplicator. I have all these set. It just makes it a lot simpler. And I right click finish loading. And while I do that, I go up here, save. It's a EMD_SD70I version 1.
Gotta move that gear up!
Yep. Yes. Okay. So far so good on the outside. Everything on the back. Good. Ooh. We didn't parent. So, go to parent and connect the sockets to your gate as well. It has issues. So go ahead and do that. Other than that, it looks like everything copied over. Alright, you did it correctly. Nice job. And if we try on the beacon, it should work. Yep, there it is. It's a little funky, but still. It's a little bit laggy as well, but don't worry about that. So, now that we know that this works, now we're just going to go ahead and save this. And we're going to delete everything. Well, I am, so I don't mess anyone's game up. But there you go, that's how you make an SD70i with Platinum 2 with all your cosmetics and fancy things. Save this and